Helen, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's such an honor to have you here in Beit Damas. First of all, what do you think about this location and in the initiative of having, like different creative powers in one place to celebrate fashion, art, and jewelry together?
It's a very atmospheric place, and I like the combination of fashion, art, and diamonds, let's say, and jewelry.
I want to start a little bit with a background about you. You, as a CEO today of HRD Antwerp,
Yes.
you scout companies, you push them, you call for innovation, you call for change. You have a pretty interesting career. Tell us a little bit more about the last few years. How have you kind of adapted with everything that's been going on in the world? And do you see emerging trends coming out of these couple of years?
Yes. Well, it's a little bit, let's say, the thread through my career. I'm the child of disruptions,
I like that.
Yeah, since I started my career, each time I came into a company, if it's luxury or not, because I did different things in my career. Each time there was a kind of disruption. Yeah. So market completely changing. External influences. You can have 2009 crisis. But also millenniums, Gen Zs coming into the market with different concept of buying, etc.
Different habits completely.
Sorry?
Different habits completely.
Completely different habits. Completely. I have a Gen Z and a millennium at home. So I know,
can see the difference.
I see really the difference between the way we buy, the way we look at products, than the way they buy. And they're very critical in what they want and where
they're
it's coming from.
very aware and very well informed.
They're very well informed.
You're not a stranger to the Middle East. You travel to the Middle East and the Gulf quite often,
Yes,
if I may say. How do you see the market evolving recently when it comes to jewelry?
Yeah, well, I think we're sitting here because of the a new concept that Damas is introducing. I think as one of the early adapters in this market. In the Middle East, the natural diamonds are well introduced. If we're talking about the Gaia collection and the lab-grown diamonds, it is not. So they're kind of innovator.
Details about that for sure.
They're kind of innovator in this market, but I think it's really the right strategy.
Yeah, definitely. But let's talk a little bit about diamonds. For those who don't know what lab-grown diamonds are, what are they exactly, and how are their chemical and physical characteristics different than the mined ones?
Yeah.
In a very simple
way. I'm trying to do it in a very simple way. Well, a natural diamond takes billion to million years to grow under an enormous pressure and heat. That's how actually, in a simple way, diamond grows. A lab-grown diamond is man-made. So they kind of imitated nature. With the same pressure, the same heat, to create a diamond who is from a physical, chemical, and optical point of view exactly the same. So molecularly, it's exactly the same as a natural diamond.
Yeah. Naturally, the first question would be, are they real diamonds?
Yes. So chemically, optically, physically, they are. So and they take like weeks to months to grow. So because we, with science, innovation, we are able to imitate nature. Let's put it this way.
And in terms of value, is it similar? Is it a market share that is growing? Is it an industry that is booming? Does it link necessarily to new emerging trends, to what customers want today? Is it an alternative? What is it exactly? What does it provide for the consumership in 2022?
Yeah. For me, there's two elements in that.
Yeah.
So you have the customer diversity, which is linked to culture and to the geographical area where you live. Okay? If you look at the States, for instance, this is a young nation. You look at the Middle East or Europe, from a cultural point of view, we're very old nations. So
except for Saudi Arabia.
Okay, I cannot generalize, but except for Saudi Arabia. You will see in that customer diversity and the way we look at ancient stones will be different between an American and, let's say, a Belgian. Okay.
There's more of an emotional kind of connection with jewelry anyway in this part of the world.
Exactly, because we're ancient, we have that culture,
We inherit
have that,
jewelry, it's
that
transmittable.
heritage,
Exactly.
the way we invest and
Yeah,
look at it.
yeah.
So those are for lab-grown diamonds, more younger markets. As America or the US is a young nation, they're kind of early adapters. You see that with other products as well. So that diversity you have, so this is, let's say, a faster growing market than the Middle East, let's say, and Europe at this point in time.
But in a world that is kind of fighting towards having things more inclusive, having things that are not directed towards a specific age group, race, background, nationality, we have become more and more global. Do you think this sector is only dedicated to the younger generation that want a more accessible kind of price point? Let's say, let's talk very clearly here.
Yeah, that's a part of it, but I think there's just a market for it because this is a kind of, this is a diamond, from the way people buy, they buy it for themselves, they buy it as a gift for somebody, it has an emotional value,
I mean, you build the emotional value at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, you build emotional value, especially in luxury.
Yeah. And when we're talking about a grading report or a grading system and kind of evaluating the preciousness of particular stones, how is it done? Just so we can raise some awareness when a new client or a young client is about to purchase his or her first diamond. What are the elements that they should be looking into? Obviously, other than understanding where the diamond is coming from.
Yes. Well, for me, if it's now a lab-grown diamond or a natural boat, they're graded, as we say, certified in the same way.
Yeah.
So the first thing what we do is we say this is a lab-grown and this is a natural. Let's say this is you need scientifics to do this. You cannot see that with the bare eye. You cannot see the difference. Even your retailer.
See beauty in bare eyes.
You can see beauty in bare eyes, but even the retailer can't do it. So you need really a lab. And then once the diamond, natural lab-grown, it doesn't matter, it comes in, we're going to evaluate the diamonds very easily on 4 C's. And the one is carat, is the weight of your diamond, and we do it for both, for all kind of diamonds. The second one is the color, which defines the value as well. The whiter, the whiter the diamond, the bigger value, the less white, the more yellowish. Yellowish is a little bit less in value. The third thing is the clarity. So is that pure? Is it pure inside? Are there small inclusions or not? And the last one is the cut, the way he is polished. And that is what a buyer should look at. That's when they have to ask for an independent report from a lab and ask, what am I buying?
Before we talk about Damas and how they are leading in this field and being disruptive in their own kind of way, is this kind of transparency that you're talking about right now needed for retailers as well, that sense of awareness?
It is, because the buyers of retailers, their consumers or their customers, they should know what they're buying, So there's an obligation of a part of education to say you're buying the Gaia collection or you're buying one of our other collections, okay? So this is a lab-grown, this is a natural one. This is what you're exactly buying depending on the 4 C's. So I think it's getting more and more important because the awareness in the market that there's lab-grown and there's natural, even if it's evaluated by the customer in the same way, it doesn't matter, he has to know. So transparency in what you're selling to your end market is key.
It's key.
And I think for every luxury, for every brand and every luxury.
But what I like actually is the fact that today, Damas, for example, since we are in Beit Damas, offers you this option, offers you the alternative.
Exactly.
It kind of gives that sense of freedom to its customers globally to choose what they want. And this is, I think, very important, one of the most important conversations emerging in the last couple of years is the fact that we need to be free in our choices.
Exactly, and that's what they're doing. I think they're really the, as I said, the early adapter, the innovator here in this market, you know, in the Middle East to launch this, because you know there was a lot of, I think
It takes a lot of courage.
a lot of courage, yeah, because there was a lot of
and a boldness,
resistance in this, because it's something new, and you know how people are. They're, you know, they don't like change, but I think it's very wise business. This.
Let's talk about the Gaia collection. I am wearing it. I love the element of stackability. Let's start from an aesthetics point of view. This is definitely one of my favorite collections by Damas. How do you see this collection? Do you feel like a modern lady? Do you feel like it's something that could be transmittable again? Is it something that you can build an emotional relationship with? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, to start with, I like the name, you know,
Yeah.
Gaia. You know, it sounds good in every language.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's it's Mother Earth, where she stands for. So the stackability is what I see, you know, with my daughter and that generation. You know, we start doing it, but we're not the innovators anymore. They are. So I like that. I like. You know, it's modern. It's
in terms of a pure marketing perspective, how would you identify the group's vision versus its actual mission today in 2022?
of the mass.
Yeah.
So I see the dynamics,
Yeah.
you know, the willing of that company, the modernness of that company, not being afraid to change, you know, and to induce change into a market. That's what I'm seeing, and that's Gaia collection is a child of, or is really a proof of the direction they're choosing and not being afraid.
Ellen, thank you so much for giving us an insight about the lab-grown diamonds industry. A lot of people don't understand because it's something that is new, like you said. It's disruptive. It completely follows a new set of consumership habits in today's world. But mostly the most significant thing is that it puts buyers and clients at a place where they can choose, and this freedom of choice today is more important than anything else, in my opinion. I hope you agree with that.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ellen.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.